Hi everyone, I know that a lot of people have been waiting for me to make a response to Mikaela's video, and before I get into that, before I do that, I want to address something very serious, and that is that a couple of years ago, I made a huge mistake by being in a YouTube video where I talk about a relationship that I wasn't even in. I should have never done that. I should have never ever done that, and I apologize for that. I should have never been in that video. I believe that at the end of the day, only the two people who are in a relationship truly know what goes on in that relationship. I have no right to sit down and talk about a relationship that I wasn't even in. And at the time, I thought I was doing the right thing by defending my family, but I wasn't. It's not the right thing to do whatsoever. And even now, when I watch those clips back, it's like, I can tell how immature I was. I should have been stronger in saying no to even being in that video. I should not have been in that video at all. And I really apologize for that. And because of that, in this video, I will not at all be addressing Atis and Mikaela's part of the relationship. Atis has done that on his Instagram today. That is his story to tell, not mine whatsoever. I'm only going to be talking about myself. Mikaela had been promoting her podcast for weeks and weeks and weeks. And not once did I try to stop it. I didn't try to stop it with a cease and desist or any type of legal letter, nothing at all. Because I believe when a woman has a story to tell, she should be able to come online and freely tell that story. So that's why I didn't do that. And another thing I want to say, since we're speaking about legal things, is that some people are saying because I didn't get her with a defamation case after her podcast was posted, that what she's saying must be the truth and she must be telling the truth, but that is not the case at all. In reality, a defamation case takes 3 to 4 years. It takes such a long time, and it costs $500,000 to $1 million. It's very expensive. It takes such a long time. And if I went down that route, I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't be able to set up my camera like this and just freely tell you the truth like this. This would take 4 years to be able to do this. So I didn't want to go down that route. Now, Mikaela made a big mistake thinking that I'm going to stay silent like I always do, because she knows that when people lie about me online, I don't say anything, I don't make a video, like I just stay silent. And she made a huge mistake in thinking I'll do that again. She took my silence and my kindness for weakness in the situation, and I will not be staying silent this time. Now, when she first posted the podcast, I didn't watch it. I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch it because I wasn't going to sit down and listen to 2.5 hours of her lying. I'm not going to do that. That was until people started commenting like, oh, she came with the receipts, like all the receipts. And I thought, okay, let me see, like, what are these receipts? I want to see. So I watched her video and there are no receipts about me. There are no receipts about me. She puts up photos from my public Instagram and stuff like that, but she just tells very, very long stories. She speaks a lot, and her receipts are like photos from my public Instagram. There are no receipts. I today, however, have come with actual receipts, so let's get into it. First, let me clarify a timeline. I haven't seen this girl in 3 years. She asked to hang out with me 4 months ago. Even though now I've always been this very bad person, 4 months ago, she wanted to hang out with me. She asked me to come to her house. She asked me to make Snapchat content with her, which makes her money because she only wants to hang out with you if she can get something from you. And of course, I politely declined because I do not want to hang out with this person. I know what kind of person she is, and I do not want her in my life whatsoever. So I declined. And then she asked me to go on a trip to Fiji with her, which again, would have been for Snapchat content, would have been for money. And I also didn't go to that, obviously. Now, 4 months later, apparently I'm a very bad person. But anyways, let's get onto the lies, because there's a lot, and I have them written down on my phone, so if it's choppy or if I'm looking down at my phone, it's just I'm trying to keep track of all of them, to be honest with you. And the first one that I'm going to address, which is so stupid, is that Atis takes my OF content. She seriously said that. She seriously said that. And when she said that, I was like, yes, now people will know she's lying. Good. But that's not the case. So now I'm going to address it. Atis doesn't take my OF content, obviously. Either I took it or Glenn took it. She's trying to make it seem like Atis was in the bedroom, like, you feel me? That's ridiculous. And she knows it's ridiculous. She knows it's an online rumor. And I'll put up a receipt on the screen. This is us laughing about how gross it is. And she's laughing along. We're both laughing because we're like both like, yuck, what the hell? She's laughing and she knows that it's not true. She knows it's a rumor. She knows people will eat it up, which is why she said it in her podcast, which is ridiculous. Next, my dogs.
Anna just keeps buying these dogs. The other family members like, oh, Anna just bought these dogs.
My family is so annoyed at me because I just bought all these dogs. This is how old I was when we got my first dog, Angel. I was 8. And when we got my second dog, I was 12. I was not buying all these dogs when I was 8 and 12. And my other dog, Baby, we got when I was 17, and she still lives with my dad to this day. Angel and Ninja both passed away from old age a couple of years ago, but Baby is still loving life. You can see her on my dad's Instagram. She's loving it. She's happy. So I'm not just buying all these dogs. That's ridiculous. Next is that all my birds are dead and that I clip their wings and that I abuse them and all these things. So that is obviously not the case. I actually have photos. You can see in all these photos that I've never clipped my bird's wings, which I don't know why she would say that, because you can prove right here in photos they've never had clip wings, and I actually know exactly where all my birds are with receipts. Okay, so I had Quakesy, and he passed away last year, and he was my treasure, and I had him for majority of my life. Then I had 3 other birds. Now these birds hated each other. They didn't get along. Every time I had them out together, they would just attack each other, and it was a constant struggle trying to keep them from biting each other. So I thought, for them to have the best life possible, I'll rehome them. I'll rehome them so they don't have to constantly be attacked by another bird, getting bitten left and right, right? So I'll put up screenshots. My dad helped me rehome them, and here you can see the dates, you can see everything. This is me rehoming my birds, and I care so much about where they went. It was such a big deal to me that they go to a loving home and that they're rehomed properly, that, for example, in one of the screenshots you'll see that somebody from a different state wanted to buy one of the birds, and I refused to sell to him because there is no way I'm putting my bird on a plane and putting him at risk of getting traumatized or scared or anything like that. I wanted them to have the most smooth transition into their new home, so I refused to sell. And that is because I care a lot about where my animals go. I think it's disgusting that she used my bird Quakesy as a punchline and as like content in her podcast. Like, that is disgusting to me. He meant the world to me, and I've never posted this because why would I? It's weird. I've never posted this, but for the sake of this video, I will post it. So Quakesy passed away last year, and I've put him in my home somewhere where every single morning I can say good morning to him and I can say good night to him because he meant the world to me. So for her to use him is just disgusting to me. It's just disgusting to me. My horses, I have one horse who I love. He has the best life you can imagine. He lives in one of the top riding schools in Australia. He gets professionally ridden twice a week. He gets rugged every day. He has a huge paddock to run around, and he has the best life. And I'm seeing comments about me having a second horse. If anybody finds my second horse, please let me know. Oh, and my cat, by the way. Glenn and I bought a cat together, and this cat was Glenn's life. So when we split, we decided that he will live with Glenn along with my dog Prince because they bonded so well. And I didn't have a cat for 1.5 years. My brother had a cat, my mum had a cat. I didn't have a cat for 1.5 years. And then last year I bought myself a cat as well, and he's living happy and healthy. His name is Poops. He's so cute. So yeah, I just want to say that. I think that this whole animal thing is just one huge projection from Mikaela, because the second her cat was a minor inconvenience to her, she had her assistant drive her cat to the closest shelter and dump him. Where is your cat, Mikaela? Where was he rehomed to? You don't know because you don't care. Now, next is that she's so concerned about all my underage fans. Okay, now she didn't show a receipt, but I will. Here are my analytics. You can see that 93.8% of my followers are over the age of 18, which means majority of my following are adults, okay? And I just find it very interesting that while all this drama is going on that she kicked off about her being concerned about my fans and they're all underage and she's so worried, what does she post on her Instagram while all eyes are on her, while her views would be higher than ever, of actual children wanting to know, ooh, what's the tea? What's Mikaela going to say about Anna? What does she do? She posts slide after slide after slide on her Instagram story of a link to her other page where you can buy videos of her and her partner having sexual intercourse. That's how concerned she is, because I am so gross. And let me just say, I haven't talked about my other site on TikTok in years, and I've promoted it maybe twice in the last 12 months on Instagram. Yet she's so concerned that I'm so disgusting. And you know what? Since we're out here clarifying absolutely everything, I don't do anything crazy on there. I haven't even shown my bare chest on there. Yet she's so concerned for all my underage fans. How does that make sense? I don't understand. Let's continue.
And I don't know how else to fucking say it. Hans Paul is homeless.
He prefers this lifestyle, and it's something that Anna and I would joke about all the time. And he would rather sleep in the van in the garage than sleep in one of the unused 5 bedrooms upstairs because he's just a hippie man.
Apparently my dad is homeless, according to her. Now, I want to start this by saying, Mikaela, my dad is none of your business. He's not a piece of content for your podcast. I don't know why you're sitting down talking about a 60-year-old man that you haven't seen in years. So she's saying he's homeless. Listen, my dad lives in a van because he wants to live a van life. That does not make him homeless. You can actually follow his whole journey on his Instagram. He openly posts about it. It's his dream life. It's what he's always wanted to do. It reminds him of his childhood. Him and his family used to travel around Europe in a van, so it makes him happy, and he's always wanted to discover Australia, so that's what he does, right? But apparently that makes him homeless. Anyways, let me continue. So the things I'm going to share are things that I would never, ever, ever want to share online. This is so weird to me, but I have no other choice, so now here I am. So last year, there was a big rumor going around that my dad is homeless, and I'm going to show you a screenshot now. And this screenshot is from before that drama even happened. The talk of my dad being homeless didn't exist at this time, and I'm going to show you the way I spoke to my dad. I sent him money like I always do, and you can see in this screenshot that I said that he can ask me for any amount of money at any time. That is the reality of how I talk to my dad. That is the reality of mine and his relationship. Now, I didn't want to show that receipt, but I had no other choice. And now my dad also has a job of his own, and it's a very flexible job so that he can travel the world with me for the other half of the year, because a lot of the time we're not in Australia. A lot of the time we're traveling around the world, because I love to travel and I love to have him with me. I love to make those memories with my dad. And I'm going to show you another screenshot, which again, I wouldn't ever want to show, but I'm going to show you for the purpose of this video. Here is the money that I've sent my dad in the last 12 months. I have sent my father nearly $60,000 tax-free just for pocket money, just for funsies, just so he can spend it on whatever he wants. And that doesn't include all the trips I take him on, because I fully pay for those out of my own money. I pay for every flight, every car, every drink, every meal, everything. It's all included so that we can have the best time possible. That is the reality of my dad's life. That is the reality of how I treat my dad. We've been to Miami, we've been to LA, we've been to Norway, we've been to Sweden, we've been to Vegas, we've been everywhere. And that's just in the last 12 months. And when I asked him for permission if I can use these photos, he said, yes, of course. But make sure you add this photo specifically for Mikaela. So yeah, there's that on my dad. Next is the fact that she said that I call everybody fat. Apparently I'm just out there calling everybody fat, and she obviously came up with that because she knows that I'm a very body positive person, and that is one of the things I stand for online, so she wanted to take that away from me. And she came out with a story saying that I called a fan fat, and when she's like, oh, people are buying this, let me see what else I can whip up, she found a screenshot of me using the word fat, and she's like, now look, Anna's calling people fat. Now let me explain this screenshot, because she didn't explain it, but I will. I'll show the whole screenshot with context. Context that she conveniently left out, of course. So this is regarding Glenn's father. So let me tell you the story. Glenn and I have struggled with our weight for a long time. We were trying to eat healthy, but we were just unhealthy. And so was Glenn's father. Until Glenn's father made a change, he started eating very healthy. Glenn's father's diet changed completely. And when I started going to Glenn's house, his dad would make me soups, all these vegetables. He would make these little pizzas with like cauliflower bottoms. Like, he was eating so healthy, but still drinking a lot of alcohol. And he wasn't losing weight, and we didn't know why. Then I came across this TikTok of a guy who does experiments on himself. So sometimes he'll eat like KFC for 30 days and see how his body changes, or he'll drink water for 30 days and see how his body changes. And he did a video, and I sent it in the group chat because it was so relevant to Glenn's dad's diet. And I said, this guy gains more weight drinking alcohol every day for 30 days than when he had KFC for 30 days straight, which is crazy. Like, and then I said at the bottom, I said, Glenn, send that video to your dad. Maybe he'll stop drinking alcohol. We should ask him, because he's way too fat for what he apparently eats. And keep in mind, we didn't use the word fat in a derogatory way. It wasn't an offensive word in my household, and it wasn't an offensive word in Glenn's household. I can tell you that right now. We just used the word for what it was. It wasn't talking shit. You can see in Glenn's reply, which Mikaela also conveniently left out, Glenn replied and said, just sent it to my dad, and then just sent a photo of the cat. Because it wasn't an offensive situation. It wasn't mean. It wasn't me talking shit. It was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Anyway, and that's it. So she's now painted it out like, I'm this evil person calling Glenn's dad fat. How could I? No. Oh, and I just want to remind everybody that her story of me saying I called a fan fat, she has no receipt for that. She's just telling a story. There is no receipt that I ever called a fan fat, because I don't call my fans fat. I don't do that. Anyways. Now, our relationship was complicated, but we were close. And when you're close with someone, you text them dumb things. You text dumb things in the group chat with people that you're very, very, very close with. You type things and you hit send without thinking, and sometimes they're rude, they're disgusting, they're mean, they're dumb, they're immature, and we could scroll for the next 10 years through our group chats and expose every bad thing that we've ever said. But I'm not here to do that. I'm actually going to show you something else, and that is that okay, so she has made it out to be like, I didn't support her and I wasn't a supportive friend and this and that. But I'm going to show you what I was actually like to her in the group chat and the way that I spoke to her. So I'm going to play a voice note, and it might be a bit choppy because I'm leaving out some very sensitive parts for her privacy. I don't want to expose that. But here is a voice note of the way I would often support her. And this was normal. This was a regular occurrence. This is how I actually spoke to Mikaela behind the scenes in a voice note in our family group chat.
Because like regular normal people, and I do that in quotations because no one's normal, everyone's fucked up, but I'm just going to say normal, right? Normal people, they don't have to distract, there's nothing to be distracted from. I hope I don't, like, I'm trying to talk so carefully because I don't want to say the wrong thing. If I do say the wrong thing, just let me know. I don't want to say anything wrong because I don't want you to feel like there's something wrong or that you're crazy or anything. So don't be scared at all. They won't like force pills down your throat. They'll give you like advice and suggestions and stuff, but they're not going to force you to do anything that you don't want to do.
And now, while we're on this topic, Mikaela was the most insecure person that I have ever met in my life. And I was always there to support her and make her feel beautiful and make her feel good. And now she has come out and said that apparently I have said that everybody's eyes are too close together. Like, I'm there with a tape measure, like, ooh, your eyes are too close together. Like, I'm the crazy supermodel with the most perfect, like, it is crazy to me. And the thing is that Mikaela's eyes were often a topic of discussion for us, and she needed constant reassurance that she was beautiful and that her eyes were beautiful. And this whole thing is so crazy to me, and it's so ironic that the two girls that I apparently talk shit about and the two girls that I apparently said their eyes are too close together, those two girls are both girls that Atis was interested in.
I just got tagged in a comment of my ex-boyfriend calling another girl a cutie on TikTok. He's in other girls' comments. He's moving on. He's moving. How dare he? How fucking dare he?
Now, Mikaela's eyes were an insecurity to her. Atis liked these two girls. So now she's twisted this whole thing, like, Anna said that their eyes, girl. I have an actual receipt, which she didn't have for that story. And this is the way Mikaela actually is. This is the real Mikaela. Without the eyeliner, her eyes are so fucking small on her face, it does not work. Now, she needed constant reassurance for her own beauty, which I always gave her. And she said, do I look like her without eyeliner? And I reassured her. I said, no, not even close. She said, because whenever I see her without eyeliner, I'm like, holy fucking shit, please put some eyeliner on. Then I reassured her again, and she says, and you know how addicted I am into eyeliner. Thank frick. Yes, I do know. It was a constant topic of conversation, but again, I tried to kindly reassure her, and I said, don't even worry. You basically look the same without eyeliner, so never feel insecure without it. And she's like, thank you so much. I love you. That was a normal conversation for us. Yet now, apparently, I'm out here calling all these influencers saying they all have ugly eyes with no receipts. It again is just one huge projection. That's all it is. It's one huge projection. If you're sitting there thinking, no, Mikaela's changed now, she's different now, I'm going to show you something. Mikaela is the exact same person she has always been. She uses everybody she needs to use to get where she wants without caring what happens. She doesn't care about anyone's feelings. She doesn't care who she hurts. She only cares about what the public thinks and how she might look to the public. And she wants to seem like the hero. She wants to seem like she's doing the right thing, but she doesn't actually care. Which is why in her video, she named a girl by name and said that I called her ugly and said her eyes were too close together. It was one of those girls. One of the ones Atis was interested in, by the way. So it was one of those girls, and she just named her by name. By doing that, she's now put so much attention to this girl. Ridiculous. It is ridiculous. She should have never done that. But of course, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. And she commented that. She said, call me wrong for naming names. Atis publicly went after this girl online flirting and tried to make it a whole bit. If I didn't say names, no one would believe me. She's mad that Atis liked her, and she doesn't care to use her name and what effects that might have on this girl. Then she saw, oh no, the public don't like that. Oh no, because that's all she cares about. Oh no, oh no. And then she came back 2 hours later and was like, I apologize for naming her by name. I shouldn't have named her by name. She's like, oh shit, fuck, right? So that's just the type of person it is. She doesn't care. Now, I'm sure that nobody wants to sit here for 2 hours and let me talk and talk and talk about all these things. So I'm just going to rapid fire some lies, and I have to read them from my phone because there are so many. So give me 1 second. Number one is that we were talking shit in German in our family group chat about her, and she would stay late at night scrolling, Google translating all of our German shit talking. Again, with no receipt. I am going to show you a receipt. This is what my family group chats look like. Atis and I don't know how to write in German. We talk in English. So what shit from us was she Google translating? I don't understand. This one is a good example of how she tries to make herself seem like a good person and like the hero in the story. It's just like a tiny little manipulation. But she says that she decided not to monetize her YouTube video because she didn't feel comfortable. That is not the case. She could not have made her video monetized because she doesn't meet the requirements. She could have left that out completely and not said anything, but of course you have to sell your little story like, look how good I am, I don't feel comfortable.
The house we were at called the Promontory. We also called the house the Pimentory, and it got demolished, I believe, because of the amount of urine that was in the fucking house, that they probably just couldn't get rid of the smell, so they had to like demolish it.
Old house got knocked down because the dogs peed inside it. Here's the house, still standing, not knocked down. That I ran an illegal lottery. News.com confirmed that it wasn't illegal, and a quick Google search will show you that my lottery was not illegal. I did not do anything illegal. And she did try to carefully walk that back in episode 2. She was like, oh, kind of illegal. Like, she tried to take that back. Next is on my It Made Me Feel Broke video. She commented on that video. Then she quickly screenshot her comment, deleted her own comment, and then posted that comment to her Instagram story and said, Anna deleted my comment, but she's acting like I'm trying to silence her. I did not delete her comment. It is so sus that her comment was 42 seconds ago. Who comments a comment quickly screenshots it? She did that on purpose to make it seem like I'm this bad person. And while we're on that topic, you know how I added the number, like the helpline, and people are saying like, you didn't even add the helpline, I'll just add a screenshot. But her comment was not there, nowhere to be found. She deleted it herself. Crazy. Next is that I hated Jack Cooper, and this one is one that is so personal to me because she knows I love Jack Cooper, and she has told him some type of story. I don't know what she has told him. She has told him that I don't like him, that I hate him. I don't know what she said. Now, I'm going to actually tell you the real story, and that is I didn't know Jack Cooper. Jack Cooper is an influencer from Australia, if you don't know, and he's one of my favorite influencers. And she, like I said, she's trying to take everything away from me that makes me me, and he is somebody that is very, very, very special to me. Before I met him, I didn't know his personality. I didn't know his sense of humor. I knew nothing about him. And if you know Jack Cooper, you know his humor is very specific. It's a very special type of humor. It's very different. And at the time, I didn't know that. So the one time I said something bad about him, before I knew him, before I met him, this was a very long time ago, he commented something really, really crazy on my Instagram photo. And I sent in the group chat and said that he's a clout chaser, because I thought he was trying to get attention. I didn't know this man. I knew nothing about him. And I'm gonna put up a receipt. This is mine and Jack Cooper's chat conversation, and I'm gonna blur some of it for privacy, but this is how we talked. So you can see before I met him, I never replied to him. And then you'll see I meet him. And from the moment that I met him, I fell in love with this man. And I replied to this man ever since. We have been such good friends. We have supported each other for such a long time. So for her to make up some crazy stories that I hated him, I didn't know him. I love that man, and I will always love that man. I don't care. I love that man, and I don't care. And you can't take that from me. Let's talk about some things that should have never been on the internet whatsoever. But again, just show you what kind of person Mikaela is, because she doesn't care at all. Number one, she talked about my parents' marriage and made that a segment in her podcast. My parents' marriage is none of your business. What are you doing? You don't know these people. You can't speak on someone else's marriage like that. Like, that is so insane to me. But she knows, she thinks it's tea. My parents' marriage is not tea. You're weird. What are you doing? What? To wrap this up, I'm going to give you a recap of the type of person that people have been so quick to support. Girls wanted to know, how did you get your abs? What does she say? Just do sit-ups. That's what she said. When in reality, she had a metal rod put into her stomach and they had abs carved out of her fat. That's what happened. But she told the girls online, just do sit-ups. Then she dated the Kid Laroi when he was underage. And then years later, went to his concert, filmed herself crying at his concert, and then made that a whole content situation. While we're talking about underage boys, She sent nude photos of herself to 14-year-old boys in a group chat when she was 19 years old. And to make it worse, she stayed in contact with these boys until they were overage. This is not a nice person. Not a lot of people have spent time with the actual Mikaela. She is not a nice person. Be so careful supporting this girl so quickly. You don't know her. And somebody who does know her, who has spent a lot of time with her, even very recently, has come out with her own story about what Mikaela is actually like in real life. Now, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, no, Anna, Mikaela has told us why she started all this, then I'm sorry that her manipulation has worked on you, like it worked on me for years. So I'm going to leave you with one final receipt. This receipt is the real Mikaela. This is how she is behind closed doors. This isn't the Mikaela that's manipulating the internet. This is a Mikaela that you don't know. This is the real reason that she started all of this.
My goal is to make sure she doesn't fucking post a thing. Because remember how I told you she would always copy me, she would always steal my stories, steal my personality, everything, the car idea, all of that. She stole it from me. I'm supposed to be the one with 7 million followers. I'm going to be vlogging after this, and everyone's going to need someone to watch because everyone's addicted to watching her, that they're going to watch me, and I'm going to live that life that I should have had. And this doesn't come from jealousy. This just comes from a siphoning energy bitch